The MVP award is given to the best player in each league, but sometimes there are players that are super valuable to their team that maybe won't get enough recognition in the award voting. So in today's video, I want to give some shine to every team's MVP for the 2024 MLB season. And of course, Ohtani and Judge, they're going to win the MVP in the American League and National League, so they're going to win it for their team in today's video. But how about teams like the Nationals, maybe the Brewers, or even the Seattle Mariners? Let's shine a light on the most valuable players on all those teams as well. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like on it. That's the best way to show your support, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description, and let me know if I missed anybody down in the comment section below. Let's get going into it. Let's get the National League started with the NL East, and for the Philadelphia Phillies, I think their MVP this year is Zach Wheeler. Wheeler continues to be one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, having a Cy Young caliber season again. Through 193 innings thus far, he has a 2.56 ERA, a whip under 1 at .96, a FIP at 3.14, and an ERA plus at 159. He has a 16-7 record. He's been one of the best pitchers in the entire game this season, and for the Philadelphia Phillies, the team is loaded. Hard to find someone who just stands out more than usual, and I feel like without Zach Wheeler, this team wouldn't be as dominant as they were because he's their frontline ace. For the Washington Nationals, have a little bit of a crazy pick because he's currently not on the Major League roster. Yes, I'm going with CJ Abrams as the Washington Nationals' most valuable player this season. Now, defensively, he has been terrible at the shortstop position, but this isn't a particularly strong team with a lot of great players right now, and CJ Abrams, I think, has to be one of the best, if not the best, in the entire organization right now. 138 games, 20 homers, 29 doubles, 6 triples, 31 stolen bases, hitting .246 with a 314 on base, .433 slugging, and a 747 OPS for an OPS plus at 110. He's only 23 years old, turning 24 in a few days, but CJ Abrams, while he's on the field, does a great job. Off the field, got to keep him a little more focused. For the Atlanta Braves, their MVP, without a doubt, is going to be Chris Sale this season. You could make an argument that's for Marcell Ozuna, but I just simply won't pick that guy. Instead, I'm going to take the National League Cy Young Award winner in Chris Sale. What he's been able to give the Braves this season has been truly phenomenal. In 177 2/3 innings, a 2.38 ERA, the best in Major League Baseball, 18 wins, 3 losses, 177 2/3 innings, like I said, 225 strikeouts, a 2.09 FIP, 175 ERA plus, and a whip hovering right around 1. He's striking out about 35% of the batters he's facing, walking only 5 to 6%. He's been absolutely disgustingly good this year, and I can't imagine how good the Braves would be without him. Don't know if they're even in playoff contention at that point. Pretty impossible to pick someone as the MVP for the Marlins. I ended up going with Xavier Edwards. While he's only played 67 games this far, he's been probably the best player on the Marlins this year. He's never going to hit for a ton of power. Only 1 home run, 11 doubles, 2 triples on the season, but he stole 31 bases so far in 67 games, and he's hitting .319 with a 390 on base, 390 slugging, 781 OPS for an OPS plus at 114. He's a really solid ball player. The Marlins don't have a lot of that right now. He's kind of the only choice I think you could make. And then, of course, for my favorite team, the New York Mets, the MVP, without a doubt, is Francisco Lindor. He was in National League MVP conversations before he got injured, as well as the fact that Shohei Ohtani's doing crazy things. But Lindor has truly been that franchise player the Mets have been waiting for. 148 games this year, 31 homers, 39 doubles, 86 RBIs with 27 stolen bases, hitting .271 with a 342 on base, 494 slugging, 836 OPS for an OPS plus at 136, the highest of his career. Not to mention, he plays stellar defense at shortstop, maybe the best defensive shortstop in the entire game. Francisco Lindor has been incredible for the Mets this year, the clear and obvious choice for their MVP. Moving on over to the National League Central, we've got the Chicago Cubs, and I'm going to go with Seiya Suzuki. The Cubs have had a bit of a weird season. You can make arguments for a bunch of different players, but to me, Seiya has just been the most impactful player on that roster this year. I feel like we've seen him take a step forward with his game. 130 games thus far, 21 homers, 27 doubles, 6 triples, and 73 RBIs with a career-high 16 stolen bases, hitting .281 with a 361 on base, 482 slugging, and an 843 OPS for an OPS plus at 136. Seiya's just a really good ball player. I think he's criminally underrated in terms of Major League Baseball. Yes, defensively, a little bit shaky out there in the outfield, but at the plate, it's hard to find a lot of hitters with the production that you get out of Seiya Suzuki. So for me, he's my pick. One a little bit weird here with the St. Louis Cardinals MVP this year, I'm going with Ryan Helsley. Helsley has been dominant, arguably one of the better relievers in Major League Baseball this season. In 65 innings, he has a Major League best 48 saves. He's finished 61 games, a 2.07 ERA with a whip at 1.1 and a FIP at 2.46. Tells you, yeah, he's pitching pretty well. He throws 102 miles an hour. The pitches are absolutely disgusting, and he's striking out about 30% of the batters he's facing while walking one of the best rates of his career at only 8.8%. The Cardinals didn't do a lot of winning this year, but when they did, you can count on Helsley to close out those games. Guaranteed wins when he comes in. As for the MVP for the Pittsburgh Pirates, it's clearly going to be Paul Skeens. Might be the best pitcher in baseball, definitely the best player on this Pirates roster. As soon as he got called up, things changed in Pittsburgh for the better. Makes you actually have a little bit of a positive outlook on this organization maybe going forward. He's made 22 starts in his rookie season, 131 innings pitched, a 1.99 ERA, a whip at .962, 2, which is disgusting. ERA plus at 2.11, FIP at 2.48. Skeens is striking out 33% of the batters he's facing, walking only 6.3%. He's gonna probably win the National League Rookie of the Year. There's a chance he gets top 3, top 4 Cy Young vote finishing, which is just kind of crazy, or at least he should in my opinion. Paul Skeens has been incredible. True #1 overall pick value. The guy is a star. As for the MVP for the Milwaukee Brewers, you could have gone with a couple different players, but I'm gonna end up going with William Contreras, their catcher. Contreras might be the best catcher in Major League Baseball right now. The combination of athleticism plus power at the plate plus consistency and defense makes him a really tough player to pick against. He's had a couple good seasons in the past, but this year he really took a step forward. 23 homers, a career high, 37 doubles, 92 RBIs, hitting 281 with a 364 on base, 468 slugging for an 831 OPS and an OPS plus at 129. At 26, 27 years of age, William Contreras has made himself one of the best catchers for an offense that people were down on, myself included. He's done a lot of the heavy lifting, especially since Yelich got hurt. This team would be nowhere without William. And then finishing up the National League Central, we've got the Cincinnati Reds, and their MVP, of course, is going to be Elly De La Cruz. Whether you like him or not, you have to admit he is a special player. Now, he has struck out 213 times this year. That is a major league high. But you have 25 homers, 35 doubles, 65 stolen bases on the season, while also playing phenomenal defense at shortstop, something that maybe was a question mark. I think those questions have been answered. 261 average, 342 on base, 473 slugging, 815 OPS for an OPS plus at 121. He's truly one of the special players in Major League Baseball, a generational type talent, and he's only 22 years old, won't turn 23 until next year. There's no other choice you could pick in the Reds. Elly De La Cruz, La Cocoa, MVP for sure. For the last division in the National League, we have the NL West, and we're going to get started with the San Francisco Giants. I think their MVP is going to end up being Matt Chapman. I mean, the Giants paid him. They gave him an extension when they didn't necessarily have to, and the reason being, he's just been really good this year. Matt Chapman's defense has been stellar once again. We always knew that, always had a great glove, but it's returned to just being one of the best in all of baseball again. 27 homers, 36 doubles, 78 RBIs, and 15 stolen bases, a career high this year. A 246 average, 328 on base, 459 slugging, and 787 OPS. Maybe doesn't sound crazy good, but it gives him an OPS plus at 124, which would be the third highest of his career. He's been one of the most productive third basemen in baseball. It's hard to hit in San Francisco, but Matt Chapman's found a way to be successful, and he's going to be there for a pretty long time. The San Diego Padres are also a really tough pick because they've really had a phenomenal year, and it's been due to a lot of guys playing really well. That being said, I think their MVP might be Jurickson Profar, which sounds crazy, but Jurickson Profar was a guy they picked up off the scrap heap during the back end of spring training, and he's had an incredible year. I mean, he made the All-Star team. He's an on-base king, hits towards the top of that order every single night, and really sets the tone for what they're going to do. I mean, the guy's been hitting third in this lineup a bunch, too. 24 homers, 29 doubles, 85 RBIs with 10 stolen bases, 282 average, 381 on base. It's disgusting. 464 slugging to 845 OPS for an OPS plus at 136. The outfield was a weakness for the Padres coming into the season. Jurickson Profar filling in left, Jackson Merrill running it down in center. I mean, it's crazy. They've turned into one of the better outfields now in Major League Baseball. Profar is a huge reason why. For the Los Angeles Dodgers, of course, their MVP is going to be Shohei Ohtani. He's going to be the MVP of the league. He's having one of the best seasons we've ever seen in Major League Baseball history. 53 home runs, 56 stolen bases, 126 RBIs, hitting 305 with a 387 on base, 643 slugging, and a 1030 OPS for a 188 OPS plus. Disgusting. He's going to win his third MVP in 4 seasons. He's doing it only as a DH as well. He's just so crazy good. This guy's not from this planet. Literally feels like an alien at times. The Rockies have had a terrible season, but one player has stuck out as their most valuable, and that's going to be Brenton Doyle. Brenton Doyle went from being a slap-hitting, great defensive center fielder to someone who looks like they're going to stick around for a really long time. A 60-point boost in his batting average, on base, 100-point boost in his slugging has led him to a career-high OPS at 765 this season. 23 homers, 24 doubles, 72 RBIs with 29 stolen bases. But the huge key with Brenton Doyle is the fact that he is one of the best, if not the best, defensive outfielders in all of Major League Baseball, in what is the biggest outfield in Major League Baseball in Coors. Brenton Doyle's a really good player, fits perfectly in Colorado. Wrapping up the National League, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks, and their MVP is going to be Ketel Marte. Marte, up until his injury, had serious consideration for the MVP. He was putting up crazy numbers. 35 homers, 23 doubles, 93 RBIs, 7 stolen bases for a team that was surging. Ketel Marte was as hot as could be. 294 average, 373 on base, 562 slugging is disgusting for an OPS at 934, OPS plus at 156. He's just a really good ball player, gets big hits game after game for the Diamondbacks. One of my favorite players in the league. I'm glad everyone is finally starting to realize he's legit one of the better players. All right, let's switch it on up to the American League, where we're going to start off with the East, and it's going to be the Red Sox MVP, Jarren Duran. Duran had a nice season last year in 102 games, 121 OPS plus, 828 OPS on the year. It was really good, and of course, this year it's been even better. 157 games, 21 homers, a Major League best 48 doubles, 35 stolen bases on the year, 286 average, 343 on base, 497 slugging for an OPS at 840. Duran has really taken a step forward this year. Obviously, Obviously, he had an on-the-field incident, which really was not great. It's pretty terrible. But in terms of sheer production, Jarren Duran has been one of the most valuable players alone in baseball in terms of F4, so he's got to be the Red Sox MVP. Speaking of one of the most valuable players in baseball, Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees wasn't picking anybody else for their MVP. Aaron Judge might hit 60 home runs again this year. He's at 58 right now at the time of recording. 144 RBIs is absolutely silly. 36 doubles as well, 133 walks, best in Major League Baseball. 325 average, 461 on base, 708 slugging is crazy, and 1169 OPS for an OPS plus at 226. Aaron Judge, stop it. Jeez. This guy's really just playing completely out of his mind. In 9 seasons, including a COVID year, and a couple seasons cut short because of injury, he has 315 home runs. His 162 game average is 51 homers on the year. He's the best player in baseball. The MVP for the Baltimore Orioles feels pretty obvious. It's going to be Gunnar Henderson. Someone who was an MVP favorite towards the start of the year will get some votes, no doubt, this season, because he put up a great year for the Orioles. 37 homers, 31 doubles, 7 triples, 91 RBIs, and 21 stolen bases in 157 games, hitting 284 with a 367 on base, 534 slugging, and a 901 OPS. He's played really good defense at shortstop, has one of the most beautiful, sweet left-handed swings you can find in the game. Gunner's an absolute stud, franchise player, not going anywhere for a long time. Pay the man. He's an absolute beast. Ooh, for the Tampa Bay Rays, Brandon Lau, I guess. I don't know. There's really not any other choice. I think he's the best player, most valuable on their team so far. Another season where he's going to play about 100 games and have 21 homers, close to 20 doubles, close to 70 RBIs, 780 OPS. There's not really too much to say about Brandon Lau besides the fact that if he can stay healthy, he can really help your team, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Rays pick up that team option and then end up trading him. He's going to have some value. Brandon Lau's a good player on a weak team. For the last team in the AL East, we have the Toronto Blue Jays, and their MVP is going to be Vlad Guerrero Jr. Vladdy is so back, it's crazy. Like, he had a bit of a drop-off, but then this year, he shaved his head, slimmed down again a little bit, and he is so back to his one of the best hitters in baseball ways. 30 homers, 44 doubles, and 102 RBIs this season. 325 average, 398 on base, 550 slugging, 947 OPS is absolutely phenomenal. 10% walk rate with a 13% K rate, and the amount of power and just consistency that he's shown. He's also played a little third base again for the Blue Jays. Like, Vladdy's doing everything you want out of a franchise player. He's going into his last year with the Blue Jays in 2025. I fully expect to make him a franchise player. He's just so good. He's so back. Yeah, the White Sox, your MVP, Garrett Crochet. Garrett Crochet is really good. I expect him to maybe get traded this offseason, bring back a huge haul for the White Sox, because he is, when healthy, a very dominant pitcher. They've been limiting him recently because his innings limit, he's hit it. He's thrown 142 innings, by far the most in his career. And in those 142, 3.68 ERA, a whip at 1.063, a FIP at 2.74. Absolutely disgusting. Striking out 35% of the batters he's facing. Walking 5.5% is just so good. Get him in a winning team, in a winning organization. This guy will be one of the best pitchers in baseball, no doubt. The MVP for the Cleveland Guardians, it's J-Ram. Jose Ramirez is quietly doing the Jose Ramirez thing again, where he's just going to go super under the radar, having a phenomenal year, not good enough to win the MVP, but something when you look back at his career, you'll go, wow, that was an incredible season. Because yes, Jose Ramirez has the chance to go 40 homers, 40 doubles, 40 stolen bases in a season with 115 RBIs. He's currently at 38 and 38 on the homers and doubles, 40 on stolen bases. 867 OPS is by no means the highest of his career, but this could be one of the most productive seasons he's ever had. The stolen bases, the power, the defense, everything J-Ram does is special, putting this team on his back. How about those Detroit Tigers? Making the postseason, absolutely love to see it. Their MVP is going to be the American League Cy Young Award winner, Tarek Skubal. Skubal has very much made it clear he is one of the best pitchers, if not the, in all of Major League Baseball. 192 innings this year, 2.39 ERA, striking out a Major League best 228 batters, a whip under 1 at .922, 30% K rate, 4.7% walk rate. Everything he's doing is disgusting, and for a Tigers pitching staff, which really isn't the strongest, he's been carrying them. He is your ace, he is your stopper, he gets big wins. This team is not even close to the playoffs without him. Speaking of which, the Kansas City Royals MVP is going to be Bobby Witt Jr. Talk about someone who is literally carrying the team on his back. Bobby Witt Jr. would be the clear-cut MVP if it wasn't for Aaron Judge and maybe even his teammate Juan Soto, because Bobby Witt's having a phenomenal year. Defensively, amazing again. The glove is so good, but at the plate, got even better than last year. 32 homers, 45 doubles, 11 triples, 109 RBIs with 31 stolen bases, hitting a Major League best 389, 591, 981 OPS for an OPS plus at 171. It's crazy. He's only 24 years old, doesn't turn 25 until June of 2025. He's one of the best players in the league. And that contract, wow, it looks so good. Ooh, the Minnesota Twins. Yeah, they don't want to make the postseason. It's tough. They choke every year. I don't know what the deal is. Their MVP, though, I guess Byron Buxton. In games where Buxton's in the lineup, they win a lot more than they lose. While he's only played 101 games, the numbers are really good in that time frame. 18 homers, 25 doubles, 56 RBIs, and 852 OPS for an OPS plus at 135. There's just no one that really sticks out as the clear-cut MVP of this team. Everyone's kind of choking towards the end. Byron Buxton's not one of those guys, though. He's stepped up big, just not big enough. Needs a little help. For the final division, we have the American League West, and getting us started with the Angels, their MVP, Zach Neto. Neto has quietly had a really good sophomore season out in Anaheim. 23 homers, 34 doubles, 30 stolen bases. Did you think you were going to see 20, 30, 30 from Zach Neto? I didn't. I was a little discouraged by what I saw in his rookie year, but he made improvements, is now hitting towards the top of the order, thank goodness. I don't know why they ever really hit him ninth, and it's paying off. He's going to have 77 RBIs on the year, an OPS at 761. The defense is getting better, doesn't strike out a ton. He's just a solid little player for the Angels, who are kind of looking for anything positive this year. He's definitely a bright spot. As for the Oakland A's, sorry Oakland fans, I can't believe they're ripping it away from you. Your MVP this year is going to be Brent Rooker. Lawrence Butler, close consideration, but Rooker really is just having too good of a season to ignore. 38 homers, 26 doubles, 110 RBIs, and he stole 11 bases. Like, what? 298 average, 369 on base, 567 slugging, and a 937 OPS for an OPS plus at 168. He's been simply statistically one of the most impactful hitters in Major League Baseball this year in terms of doing damage. And it's in a ballpark that is not necessarily the most hitter-friendly. In a lineup that doesn't have a lot of depth necessarily, it's a lot better than where it once was. But Brent Rooker's a guy that it looks like the A's don't really have any interest in moving just yet. He's too good of a player. His value is crazy. Okay, the Rangers, disappointing year, bad, not making the postseason, World Series hangover. Their MVP is going to be Corey Seager. Quietly had another phenomenal season. 30 homers, 21 doubles, 74 RBIs in 123 games, hitting 278 with a 353 on base, 512 slugging, and an 864 OPS for an OPS plus at 145. He was an all-star. This is all building off of, again, what is a disappointing season. There weren't a lot of great options, but he's the clear and obvious best player, and there's really no other choice. As for the Houston Astros, their MVP, I'm going to go with Yordan Alvarez. Yordan is doing it again, a fourth straight season of 30-plus home runs. He's up to 35 this year with 34 doubles and 86 RBIs, stealing a career high 6 bases, too. He genuinely could be one of the best pure hitters in the entire game. A 308 average, 392 on base, 567 slugging for a 959 OPS and an OPS plus at 172. He's an all-star. He's going to get some MVP votes. He really does push this lineup forward. They lost Kyle Tucker for a good chunk of the year. Yordan Alvarez kept them afloat, got them into the postseason again. They're going to be a scary team you don't want to face. And then last but certainly not least, the most valuable player for the Seattle Mariners, let's go with Bryce Miller. I know Logan Gilbert has maybe had a better, more valuable season statistically, but Bryce Miller was a guy that the Mariners didn't necessarily think was going to be as good as he was this year. 180 innings of a 2.94 ERA and a whip under 1. That's disgusting. The pitching's always great for this line. The pitching's always great for this team. Their rotation was loaded. It always comes down to their offense. But Bryce Miller having the lowest ERA and the second most innings on this roster, incredibly valuable. I don't think a lot of people saw this kind of year coming from Bryce Miller, maybe the Mariners included, but he has now become one of the better starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. Just get some bats in Seattle, please. You're wasting away the prime of some really good young pitching. So there they are, the MVPs for every team in Major League Baseball. I'd love to know who you guys think is the MVP of your favorite team down in the comment section below. Remember to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description. That's where I'll wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye.